Today I want to share with you a terrible watercolor exercise. Roll the intro. What up friends, Liron here. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today what I want to do is share with you a really hard, annoying and terrible watercolor exercise that I invented because I think it will really help a lot of you and you can really benefit from it. So let me give you just a bit of a background about how I got to this. So I recently read Mastery, which is a great book by Robert Greene, and in it he talks about the different phases that a person goes through to achieve mastery in any endeavor that he takes upon him, whether it be art or science or sports or anything like that. Or even like being a lawyer or any other profession that you need to achieve some level of success and experience. So he talks about the different stages of becoming a master of something. And one of the things that really struck me is that he says that people that really achieve and strive for mastery make up or invent for themselves crazy exercises and things to master what it is they're doing. They don't conform to just the things that already exist. They actually make up things for themselves, which I found fascinating. And then it hit me. Like, I had a crazy idea. So I'll give you an analogy. Let's say a basketball player that really wants to be crazy practices basketball for an entire day with weights tied to his feet. So he has like an extra 5 or 10 kilograms on each feet, and you can barely run and you can barely do anything and he can barely dunk, and it's just so hard because he has all that extra weight. But what turns out is that when he takes the weights off of his legs, he just becomes so much better. So this is kind of similar. And in order to really explain to you how this exercise works, let me change the angle a bit and I'll show you exactly what I mean, okay? I think you're gonna really love this one. So let me show you what I mean by that, okay? Now, usually, when you paint in watercolor, you hold the brush. The standard way is something like this, and the marking here of the silver black velvet brush that I'm using is just great for knowing where the ideal spot is to hold it. Okay, so somewhere around this. A lot of people recommend to have a good inch between the hairs of the brush and your fingers, okay, and it makes sense, and this is a good way that allows you to get a lot of control when you paint. Now, sometimes you want to get the more accurate details, and then you hold it sometimes closer to the tip. A lot of people, on the one hand, do not recommend to hold it really close to the tip, but then they do it anyway, so I noticed this happening. So here's my exercise, and it's because I'm a bit crazy, okay, so I basically did something a bit weird, and I decided to not hold it here, to hold the brush here, as close to the edge as I could, to literally make it uncomfortable for me. And then I just painted the whole thing like this. And let me show you the result of what I painted, okay? So here's what it looks like. And all of this was done with this specific brush, size 12, and holding it like this. And I just created a lot of different shapes in pencil. You can see some of the pencil lines here. And I just forced myself to fill them up while holding the brush like this. It doesn't really matter the angle, whatever you feel like comfortable with, but this is how I held the brush for the entirety of this page. And let me tell you, it was frustrating at times because you just give up so much control like this, okay? It's not like a pencil when you hold back and you lean your hand on the paper comfortably and then you can get long lines or something like this. This is a brush, and I did all of this basically without even putting my finger at times on the page, okay? I just held it up in the air like this and tried to fill it in as accurately as possible. Now, then I did an actual painting, and let me tell you, it was so easy. It was so easy for me to fill in the spaces when I held it the way I'm used to, like this, closer to the tip. This made it so much easier to just work like a normal person. It's not like that this is completely a detached way of doing it and it's non-beneficial. No. This actually gave me an easier time when I did go back to normal. Now, I do have another brush that's size 8, but I decided, no, I'm gonna challenge myself and do it with the 12, and this is exactly what we're gonna do today. Okay, and I'm gonna demonstrate it real quick. We're gonna do a few shapes and I'll show you how annoying it is, and I'm sure that if you do this exercise, it will really improve your control over the brush. Now, this is just me. I'm crazy. For me, it works. I just urge you to try it as well, okay? So let's rearrange some stuff and get started here. I'm gonna create a similar pattern on another new clean page. So what you want to do now is basically spend some time just drawing some random shapes like this, and we will later on fill them up, okay, with paint. So you just want to create something that will be somewhat challenging to you at times. So I will tell you, don't just create these kinds of things. Actually create sort of narrow, thin paths for you to try and fill up, okay, like this shape here. And you can fill up an entire page with them. Really, an entire page, and this is a really good exercise. A lot of people say, you know, the blending exercise or softening edges or even wash. These are exercises I can do in 5 minutes and I can just finish them. And then how do you spend so much time exercising or doing practice sessions if it's just really quick? So my answer to that is do more of it. So if you finish an even wash exercise really fast, I don't know, divide your page to a few different areas and do each one of them with an even wash. If this is fast for you, and it won't be fast, trust me, just fill in 2 pages, you know, whatever you need to practice. But there is so much benefit in consolidating your practice session to one specific topic, okay? Trust me on this one. It really helps. So anyway, I think we have enough shapes to go with here. We don't really need to fill up the entire page. I'm gonna do one that's gonna be a total nightmare. And you see, just with one line, not really trying to sketch them out, like don't start going like this. You don't need it, just put it in. Doesn't have to be accurate, okay? So anyway, let's start filling it up. Okay, so I got everything prepared now. Before we begin, I have the palette here. I have this small cup on the side. And just one tip before we get started, okay? When you do this exercise, use a paint you don't often use, okay? And this will just help you save up on the ones you do use a lot. So for me, I keep hoarding on the French ultramarines and other things. So use one you don't use a lot. For me, it will be like maybe a phthalo green or olive green or something like this, okay? So these are the ones I'm gonna use for this exercise. And I also have some leftover paint, which I'm gonna use for this. I had a weird, strange feeling that I won't be needing it. That I won't need to clean it up because I will use it for something, and lo and behold, I am using it for something. Okay, so I'm just taking some of that phthalo green that I almost never use because I just hate that one. So anyway, it doesn't matter the brand, doesn't matter I just don't like it. But anyway, I'm mixing a good mixture here, and notice I already hold the brush in the devil position. We're just gonna call it the devil position from now on. And I want the paint not to be too wet, because when it is really wet, and when it's really more water, you lose a lot of control, and we're already giving up so much control here. Okay, so I don't necessarily want the paint to be super wet. And now I just get started, and I'm gonna be really bad. Sorry about the noises, it's my chair. I'm gonna be really bad at this, and this is the entire point. Now, you will notice that you improve the more you go at it. And you can see I really barely am able to fill in the shapes properly, but I do a decent job at it, you know, like this. You may notice that my hand shakes a bit. That's because I'm giving up control over the brush, okay? So it really makes your hand shake a bit, so don't judge me. But in any case, you see, I'm just going at it, filling up the shape, and not judging myself on how well I did it. The one thing you want to do when you do this exercise is to be focused, okay? You don't want to judge yourself over the result, but you don't want to be focused while you do it. Another one. This one's allegedly simpler, but still not that easy to pull off. And you sort of learn how to move your hand. You see I'm moving it from here to there, just to get it the way you want it to be. And you're giving up a lot of control. See, I was tempted to go like this, because intuitively I know that it will help me. And you'll notice it happen to you while you do that, okay? So this is really an extreme exercise. Now, it's not meant for everyone, and definitely if you're just starting out, just learn the basics of painting. But once you feel like you're at a point where you aren't always pleased with your brush work, I think this is a good supplement to make your progress faster, okay? Now I want to show you something interesting. What I'm gonna do now is, after this shape, I'm gonna choose another one and fill it up like I would normally hold the brush, and just you'll see the difference, okay? It's quite amazing, I have to tell you. So I'm taking some color, and let's hold it regularly, like this, really close to the tip. Now notice how much more accuracy I have when I go at it like this. You can't even compare the two. Look how easy it is. I'm literally feeling super relieved right now. And it's just because I practiced these three in a really weird, hardcore sort of grip on the brush. And I have to tell you, it works. It really works. Look how easy it is for me to fill it up now. See, I messed up a bit. Happens. By the way, the one thing I learned is even if you mess up during a painting, sometimes you can just let it go and it works in the overall composition. So really what you learn is more to let go of that and just react to what's happening. I really noticed it happened to me in the statue painting, actually. I really noticed that it happened to me. Anyway, back to the devil grip. And I'm gonna take this very lovely shape here. It's gonna be a real nightmare. And you want to take your time. For example, what I'm doing right now is not as ideal as the exercise I did back then, because I'm actually talking to you while doing it, okay? And this is an exercise to do while you're very focused. Because the whole learning part comes when you're focused. One session that's very focused can be so much more productive than two that are a bit... you know, sometimes I'm in a mindset where I'm bored to just do these exercises. So what I used to do is actually put a video in the background and listen to some other people talk. And it's fine. It's okay if you must do it. But I found that it was just an escape for me. It was an escape from learning. And the more I understand how immersion is important for this kind of thing, and to see really improvement in this kind of skill, the less I need that, the less I need something to be playing in the background or things like this. If I do have a very pure creation session, meaning all I want to do is just create freely based on an image or a scene or something I see, then yes, I will put some music on just to keep a fun atmosphere. But if I'm practicing, it's like more serious sometimes than the painting process. Okay, so and this is how you improve, really. This is how you improve. And I'm not, you know, I didn't read it somewhere. I'm just experiencing it right now. When I have these super focused sessions, I just know that I improve. Now you see, I let myself put the pinky, the little small finger on the paper from time to time. That's okay. We're giving up a lot of accuracy already. So don't be too hard on yourself. The main thing with this one is just to hold back at the brush, okay? So I'm gonna do just one more. I don't wanna bore you with this. Maybe I'll do this one also afterwards because it looks like a nightmare. Yeah, so this is a really good exercise. And in the beginning, even if you just practice filling up different shapes like this in the normal grip, it's still a very good exercise. Okay, so if you're still in the very beginning and you don't want to go that extreme, you can just do it regularly, and it's also a really good exercise in control. So if you remember, I posted a few days ago, not that long ago, the brush stroke techniques in which you practice the different strokes and things like this. So this is sort of a complementary exercise to that, because what you do is you don't practice just strokes, you apply what you learn to fill in different shapes, okay? So, and don't be like me, get a variety of shapes. Get maybe some sharp edges, some corners, some more straight lines in there. I just sort of did this intuitively. I just drew these little squiggly shapes, okay? You can definitely change it to suit you better and to just learn more, okay? Yeah, and the cool thing is that you actually learn about the more efficient ways to fill in different shapes. So it's not just an exercise in brush control, it's also, or paint control, it's also an exercise in how to fill in a shape more efficiently. because there are a few approaches. Some people, and this is a good one to demonstrate, so some people would start from top to bottom. Some people recommend to start from the center and move out to the edges to get a more even wash like I did now. I really don't know what works better. It really depends on the shape and its size. If the shape is really large, it's always better to start from top to bottom because you just get more control. You have a more measured line of wetness, the bead and all of that. You can put the paper at an angle. Yeah, so here I started becoming lazy. I should have tilted the brush like that. But anyway, I think you understand the point of this exercise. Hopefully you get it. The non-even washes are partially due to the fact that this is a moleskin. If I would do this exercise on a Legion paper, you would see it's not like that, or at least in most cases it's not like that. But here's another extra tip. Do these kind of exercises in your sketchbooks and on cheaper paper that you don't normally use. Use a paint that you don't often use. Use some leftovers on your palette, okay? So hopefully you understood it. A really challenging one, but when you go back from it to reality, and you go back to holding the brush like a civilized human being, you just find it so much easier, okay? So I hope this helps, and let's wrap up this video. This is it for this exercise. I hope it's not too crazy for you, but if you feel you're at a stage where you really want to just work on your control and you want to take some extreme measures, trust me, this is the one for you. And again, use all the money-saving tips I gave you. Use some leftover paint, use the cheaper paint, use a specific color you don't always use, work on the cheaper paper. You can even work on a more, even cheaper paper than watercolor paper, like a mixed media or something like this. It should work. But just know it does affect a bit the quality of the exercise, okay? But anyway, yeah, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in a comment below what you think of this exercise, and if you tried it, please let me know if you enjoyed it and if you feel like it helped you, okay? And if you still haven't, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, and I will see you again in another video tomorrow.